Good evening, I'm Christopher Brantley. After the massacre in Orlando last Sunday, self-defense experts on the Suncoast say more people are signing up for their classes, motivated by the thought of losing their loved ones. ABC 7's Adam Cellini has the story.
After tragedy struck so close to home, people seem to be reacting in two ways. Some calling for stricter gun laws, while others taking their lives and self-defense into their own hands. When you step into John Brockhoff's Krav Maga self-defense class, prepare for the worst.
This is a great opportunity for the girls, if they're working with the guys, to really understand what it's like to be tossed around a little bit.
My goal is not to develop street fighters or fighters. My goal is to develop survivors, and that begins long before the fight.
Hebrew for combat contact, Brockhoff says Krav Maga is perfect for any urban threat, which is why classes fill up after tragedies like Orlando.
There are going to be people that run, there are going to be people that stay and provide first aid, and then there's going to be a small group of people that are going to stay and fight. And what I'm developing here is a group of people that are going to stay and fight.
Eric Wilkerson signed up in November, desperate to equip himself for any situation.
These days it can happen anywhere. So you always have to be prepared, know what to do. Me, especially working at a school and just being out in the balanced society today.
Others plan to fight firearms with firearms, especially in the LGBT community.
Obviously, because we were targeted, definitely targeted in this.
Gun owner Cindy Barnes has been fielding several questions from friends in her local group, Sarasota Pride.
I got mine after Aurora because I felt like, you know, we're not improving, we're going the other direction, and I want to be protected.
National LGBT gun group Pink Pistols has reportedly doubled its membership since Sunday, and dozens more like Sarasota gun shop owner Mike Young are applying to start their own local chapters.
And Sunday happened, and I'm like, we got to do it now. Right now, we got to do it. You know, because I'm tired of people being defenseless.
And if we can have more people prepared and ready for whatever happens, the world's safer.
The universal theme across all this self-defense training is the hope that you'll never have to use it. In Bradenton, Adam Cellini, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Adam, thank you. We'll have more on the Orlando nightclub shooting coming up later in the broadcast. The Manatee County Sheriff's Office is investigating an early morning shooting. The incident began when two teenagers were seen acting suspiciously in the 6400 block of First Avenue East in Bradenton. Deputies say when they arrived, four men were holding down a 15-year-old boy, taking a gun away from the teen. There was also a 16-year-old on the scene pointing a gun at the men, and one of the men fired a round, wounding him. The 16-year-old suspect is being treated for non-life-threatening injuries. U.S. Army Private Zachary Fuller was laid to rest today. Family and friends said their final goodbyes today at the Bible Baptist Church in Palmetto. Fuller died on June 2nd. He was one of the 9 killed during a training exercise at Fort Hood in Texas when the vehicle they were riding in overturned in floodwaters. The 23-year-old moved to Palmetto a few years back to receive his associate's degree from the State College of Florida. He was awarded a National Defense Service Medal and Army Service Ribbon.
We're all saddened. It's a friend, coworker, and part of the community, and he'll be truly missed.
He shared with me all the time that the Army was his dream. He always wanted to go in, and so he passed doing what he wanted to do in his life, and not many of us do that.
Fuller is survived by his mother, his father, his sister, and a grateful nation. Veterans, active duty, and reservists were given a helping hand today at the Sarasota Military Academy. It's a military appreciation fair. It's held every year. Veterans come in and are connected with health care services. The Veterans Appreciation Fair was sponsored by Sarasota Congressman Vern Buchanan.
We're here today to address their issues, whether it's health related, jobs related, SBA's here, so a lot of different vendors. We try to do this once a year, once every couple of years, to make sure they have access and any benefits that they've earned. Our job is to make sure they get those benefits.
The event is part of a larger effort to thank the bravest among us. Sarasota in Defense of Animals wanted their voices heard loud and clear today. The group held a protest at Bayfront Park this afternoon. The group does not want FWC to proceed with the second bear hunt in Florida in the last 20 years. They call the last year's hunt, quote, a bloodbath, and say it's unconscionable that a second hunt is planned.
Us and almost 30 cities are united on this day to tell Governor Scott and the FWC, keep your bloody hands off our bears. We are taking them back.
The final decision will be made next week when the FWC staff recommendation goes before the commission. And following up on the overflow of animals at Manatee County's Animal Services, since yesterday, more than a dozen dogs and cats have been adopted. There are still about 180 animals in need of their forever home. The Palmetto shelter is 2 times more full than it's supposed to be. They're supposed to have 80. The overflow was from a recent seizure as part of an investigation being conducted by the Manatee County Sheriff's Office. Details of that ongoing investigation have not been released. And a little bit of rain this morning, but what a beautiful day today was. Let's head over to Wendy Ross for a first check on our weather. Wendy?
It did turn out to be a beautiful day, Christopher, but we also had very hot temperatures once again, and of course, no surprises. It's very close to being officially summer, even though it feels like it already. 89 degrees for us right now and plenty of sunshine out there. 74 dew point, but we're looking at a humidity factor of 61% and those winds coming in right off the Gulf of Mexico. Many places reporting temperatures in the 90s right now. At the beaches, we're looking at temperatures that are slightly cooler, but every place is pretty much on the hot side. As you can see, most of the rain is to the north and east of us right now. Not much taking place right here across our immediate viewing area. And we'll let you know how the rest of the weekend is shaping up. That's coming up in just a few minutes. Christopher.
All right, Wendy, thank you. An early day for a couple hundred fathers and their families. The Great Father's Day 5K run taking place on Siesta Key Beach this morning. The annual event drew families from around the Suncoast and the Sunshine State. Although everyone received a medal, there were some recognitions for top finishers in different age categories.
We just kind of want to get people out that don't really run that much and let them know that it's okay to go for your first time. It's okay if you just have fun out here. It's not about the competition, it's about the fun.
Runners who couldn't make it were able to follow along on social media for what the group calls the virtual 5K. And another great event for bonding with Dad this weekend, the Bradenton Boat Show in Palmetto. The 4th annual event is taking place this weekend at the Bradenton Area Convention Center. They boast a huge selection of new boats, boating accessories, fishing gear, and more. Captain Joe's Fishing School was on hand to teach anglers the rules of the ropes. The event is held every year and draws in a flood of people.
We've had a great turnout this weekend. A lot of people interested in buying boats, whether they can afford them or not. They want to look at them and imagine and dream that they could afford one even if they can't.
The boat show continues through tomorrow at the Bradenton Area Convention Center. Donald Gould reunites once again with the artist whose piano made him famous to welcome a close replica. Twice as Nice, a consignment store in downtown Sarasota, donated the piano for local artist Victoria Bulava to beautify a second time. The theme, a duplication of the one Gould stumbled upon last year along Main Street in Sarasota. The pair have met a few times since and took time to reflect on their journey Saturday morning.
I'm really proud it was mine, and it was really nice that, you know, I could be a part of somebody's dramatic life change.
She's fun to hang out with, you know. We've become pretty good friends, you know, this past year.
Gould says his music career has been going well. He recently released his first single, a cover of the Styx hit, Come Away. And still to come here on ABC7, why local fishermen are unhappy with a major change to a proposed shopping center in Sarasota. That story and more as ABC7 News continues.
Need new windows? Buy direct from the factory. New South Window is having a sale. The more you buy, the more you save. Buy 4 windows, save 25%. Buy 6 windows, save 30%. Buy 8 or more windows and save 35%. How? Because New South owns the factory and you cut out the middleman. Award-winning, energy-efficient windows and doors installed with a lifetime warranty. New South Windows are made in Florida for Florida homes by Florida workers. Visit newsouthwindow.com or call now.
Discover the biggest savings of the year on some of America's favorite vehicles during the Drive and Discover event going on now at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Get America's best value, a new Grand Caravan for just $18,999 or a new Dodge Journey for just $16,999. Stop by today to shop the area's biggest selection of Ram trucks and save up to $8,000 on your new Ram. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
The ability to go to college on a Bright Future Scholarship gave me personally the flexibility to chase a dream. To not have to worry about paying for your college education was absolutely amazing. One step better than that was to leave with no loans. I mean, to start a life, to start a job, to start without having a debt was amazing, and it allowed me to get to where I'm at today.
The home at 19 Walker Court. The agent. The rolling of sleeves. The look over. The look under. The application of dirt under fingernails. Turning over every rock. Turning over every chimney. Checking the nooks, checking the crannies, checking the walls. The floors, the gutters, the doors. Finding the flaw, calling the specialist, fixing it, cleaning it, prepping it, painting it, listing it, showing it, selling it. The sign of a RE/MAX agent.
I'm Dale Mast, and we're celebrating 40 years on the west coast of Florida.
It's our 40th anniversary, and it's time for a celebration, the Culligan Hydration Celebration. For a limited time, celebrate by taking $250 off any Culligan home system. That's $250 off Culligan water softener systems, drinking water systems, or whole house water filters. Help us celebrate our 40th anniversary, and remember,
for better water, pure and simple, call today and say, "Hey, Culligan man."
The agents at SWC would like to show you pictures of all the homes that they've sold quickly for their clients. But they're just too many to show. Contact SWC today and find out for yourself. We just market your home better.
Back now into the ongoing saga surrounding Bass Pro Shop. In the summer of 2014, the Outpost store announced plans to build on the corner of I-75 and Fruitville Road. 2 years later, the national chain has terminated its contract to buy the property. And as ABC 7's Dwayne Lindo tells us, there are mixed reactions among anglers in the area.
Al Herxthal manages economy tackle in Sarasota and has been doing it for nearly 4 decades. He feels indifferent about the Bass Pro project not moving forward.
Historically, when a Bass Pro Shop enters a region, specialty retail usually slows down for about a month or two.
But after the novelty wears off, it becomes a harmonious relationship.
It usually picks up and can really be a significant benefit to you. We've got very diverse brands. The most important thing is for all of us to help our customers. So a lot of times they would be sending us customers and we would do the same with them.
Brands that Herxthal store may not carry.
So they're a little bit more oriented towards freshwater than we are, possibly.
Which is the reason professional angler Jeff Gwelly is upset about the decision.
Because there really is no place in this area for freshwater fishermen, bass fishermen, crappie fishermen to buy products here.
With the nearest Bass Pro Shop in Brandon and Fort Myers, Gwelly is mostly purchasing products he needs online.
You know, we can't go there and put our hands on the products. We have to order online or drive an hour.
Plans for the Outpost, which would have generated as many as 200 jobs, included a bowling alley and restaurant.
Thought of maybe possibly working there. You know, I'd love to work at a Bass Pro Shop.
But Gwelly and other Suncoast residents looking for employment at the retail giant won't get the chance. The owners of the property on I-75 and Fruitville telling the Sarasota Herald Tribune that they don't know the reason why the deal was terminated. Whatever the reason, Gwelly thinks it will be a big blow for the local economy, but he hopes a similar store jumps on the opportunity.
There's always a possibility of somebody else coming this way, like Dick's Sporting Goods or Cabela's, you know, one of the Bass Pro Shop's competitors.
Dwayne Lindo, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Dwayne, thanks. Police removed 12 girls from a home in Pennsylvania's Amish country, including 1 infant. They had no birth certificates and weren't enrolled in any school. A neighbor felt wary about the look of the home and contacted police. Law enforcement believes the oldest girl's parents gifted her to Lee Kaplan. They say Kaplan began a sexual relationship with her starting when she was 14 and had 2 of his children.
Mr. Kaplan had her living there as some kind of repayment for a financial situation.
Police have charged Kaplan and the couple believed to be the mother and father to 10 of the girls. Arrest papers revealed they knew their oldest daughter was engaged in a sexual relationship with Kaplan. And a day of sadness and mourning in Orlando nearly 1 week after that horrible massacre at the Pulse nightclub. Today, the victims whose lives ended way too soon were laid to rest.
Amazing grace.
a sea of red, orange, yellow, blue, and green.
Hate came to Orlando, and Orlando countered with love. A lot of love.
Thousands from across the country paying their respects to Christopher Lieninen. The 32-year-old and his boyfriend, Juan Raymond Guerrero, were among the 49 people killed last Sunday. The couple had planned to get married. Outside, a show of solidarity, protesters facing down and drowning out a few members of the Westboro Baptist Church who came to demonstrate. At the funeral of Corey Connell, a somber mood.
Size didn't matter when it came to Corey. He would take on the world without even blinking once.
While a biker gang stood guard at the funeral of Stanley Almodovar. Orlando City Hall turned into a giant memorial, dozens of wreaths decorated with the faces of each victim. One of the survivors, Ann Swari Bennett, shot twice by Omar Mateen, now back home in South Florida, described his ordeal.
About 15, 16 people ran into that bathroom as well, and we all closed the latch door, latched it, and we all laid down and got down.
ABC News has learned the FBI has obtained high-quality surveillance video showing the attack. That video yet to be released, but a source familiar with the investigation tells us the shooter was, quote, cold-blooded, walking through the rooms, mowing people down. An absolutely terrible story, but let's switch gears a little bit and talk about the beautiful weather today.
We actually had nicer weather than had been anticipated. We were expecting a sloggy, messy, rainy kind of a day, and it did not turn into that. Instead, what we had were some showers that came through, just some light sprinkles early this morning. And then for the most part, we had fair skies all across our viewing area throughout most of the day. Right now, we're seeing the showers diving down from the northern part of the state across and into central Florida, and some of those rains are starting to become thunderstorms. As you can see, we're starting to see some heavier rainfall just to the north and east of Sebring right now. That's this area right here that I'm talking about. But all of this is continuing to move on down to the south at this point, and it's still way east of our viewing area. So we may get a couple of showers that are going to come on through here throughout the evening hours. We've got about a 30% chance of rain for the overnight time period tonight. Right now it's 89 degrees, lots of sunshine out there. So if you're heading out to the beach, if you're doing a barbecue, if you are painting the house because you couldn't do it during the weekday, this is the perfect time to be out there because we're not looking at a whole lot of rainfall. We have the moderate dew point and moderate humidity levels. Winds are out of the west at around 11 miles per hour. And over the state, you can actually see where it's been raining because those temperatures are much cooler. Readings are in the 70s from Jacksonville all the way down through Orlando and Melbourne. That's where the rain is. Elsewhere, though, we're looking at temperatures in the 80s and 90s, and it's not raining there, and certainly not across the west coast of Florida right now. So things are quiet for us. We still have some 90s on the map at this point, with temperatures at 91 degrees in Wauchula, 91 in Arcadia. Right here at the beaches, it's a little bit cooler from Anna Maria down through Longboat Key. Temperatures there in the low 80s, mid to upper 80s, though, for the rest of the west coast of Florida. Now, believe it or not, we actually have a frontal band that is going to be moving down across the northern and central part of our state. And it's this cold front, this frontal boundary, that's going to move on in here and actually bring some drier air into our forecast region. So that front brings in the drier air for tomorrow, which means that our rain chances are going to be reduced once again to just a 30% chance of afternoon showers. That's when we're expecting to see the rains coming on in throughout the day tomorrow. And then our highs will be very close to 90 degrees, just as they were today. So you can see this drier air beginning to move on down across and over to the southeastern part of the country, and eventually it's going to filter on in here. So we'll see some drier conditions expected for the remainder of this weekend, which is great news for those of you who are participating tomorrow in Father's Day celebrations. If you're going outside, heading out to the beach, it'll be a great day to do that. You can expect to see a couple of showers lingering over the northern part of the state by the afternoon hours on Monday, and then again it's going to be a very quiet day for us across central Florida. It's nice and quiet as far as the tropics are concerned for us as well, so that's some good news. We don't have anything developing that we're concerned with at this point. And if you are heading out to the beach tomorrow, the winds will be out of the northeast, 10 knots, seas 1 to 2 feet with a light chop out on the bay and inland waters. So the showers set up along the east coast during the morning and get here during the afternoon hours along the west coast with just a 30% chance of rain in the forecast. Tonight, warm and muggy, a 30% chance of showers overnight with a temperature reading of 76 degrees. And as you can see, over the next several days, we keep our temperatures right around that 90-degree mark. Some breezy conditions on Monday as that front moves through. Hard to believe we're talking about cold front.
Now, sports.
Wendy, thank you. Rays looking for a big win today against the San Francisco Giants after a sad defeat last night in St. Pete, where the Giants beat the Rays 5-1. The two teams are competing again today at Tropicana Field. The end of the game is approaching. Right now, it's at the top of the 8th. Now to the NBA Finals, coming down to a winner-take-all Game 7 after an epic Game 6 that saw an explosive performance from LeBron James and Stephen Curry getting booted and fined. ESPN's Lindsay Zarnak has the details.
Smith, alley-oop to James!
The stakes don't get higher than this. The NBA's biggest names, LeBron James.
Curry launches long three, knocks it down.
And Steph Curry facing off in a decisive Game 7 tomorrow night.
Game 7, Sunday night in Oakland.
Tensions have reached a boiling point for both superstars. They even killed Curry, losing his cool late in Game 6, chucking his mouth guard and getting thrown out of a game for the first time in his NBA career. The league also fining Curry $25,000 for his outburst. LeBron James and the Cavs, they've found their momentum, and Curry's Warriors have watched a 3-1 series lead disappear.
We were in adversity last series down 3-1 and had to rattle off 3 straight wins.
LeBron James saying his job is to be the rock his team needs.
I've been fortunate enough to see the ball go through the hoop the last couple games, so, I feel pretty good.
But if there's any team known for finding a way to win, it's the Warriors, trying to cap off a magical season with a record 73 wins.
Yeah, it's frustrating, but the work we've put in and the opportunity we've given ourselves, with a Game 7 to win the finals at home, you got to be excited about that.
ESPN's Lindsay Zarnak reporting. Lindsay, thanks. More to come here on ABC 7. Stay with us.
Monday at 4 on Suncoast View.
We have must-see moments from the past months and some behind-the-scenes stories. I'm Stephanie Roberts. On Suncoast View Monday, we answer your emails and questions about some of our on-air antics. Plus, we talk to a celebrity scientist who's shaping our future. We channel our need for speed and head out on the water to get ready for the Sarasota Powerboat Grand Prix, plus the best Suncoast bar food in the kitchen.
Monday at 4 on Suncoast View.
Monday at 5 on ABC 7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Hello, I'm Don Brennan. We all know exercise helps build your muscles, but new research showing it also helps build something else as well, brain power. Monday on Good Morning Suncoast, we'll show you how working out can help improve your memory as well. John?
The front has sunk south. What happens next? We'll take a look at the week's forecast bright and early.
Monday at 5 on ABC 7's Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Thanks to my volunteer, I am a better reader.
Thanks to my volunteer, math seems simple now.
Thanks to my volunteer, I discovered new career goals.
I'm a volunteer for Sarasota County Schools, so I know I can make a difference. And you can too. Give an hour, change a life.
The official Suncoast Storm team at ABC 7. We're here for you.
Florida Studio Theater presents the fabulous Lipitones, now held over by popular demand. A high note leaves the Barbershop Quartet without their fourth member just before the national competition. What ensues is a comedy of misunderstanding, stereotypes, and the path to perfect harmony that critics say has laughs galore and gets right to the heart. Buy tickets now by calling 941-366-9000 or visit floridastudiotheater.org.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, it's all about getting more for your money. More years, more miles, more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. Stop by to see our new state-of-the-art showroom today, and you can lease the most award-winning small SUV on the planet, a new 2016 Subaru Forester, for just $229 a month. Complimentary maintenance included at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Hey, I'm really glad that you're taking a few moments to check out this video about the ministry of First Sarasota, Downtown Baptist Church. I'm William Hill, lead pastor here at First Sarasota. For the last 15 years, it's been my privilege to share in the life of this faith community, a community that centers itself around faith, friends, and family. Indeed, it is a ministry that's been in existence right here in this wonderful city for over a century.
Finally tonight, a World War II veteran checks a big item off her bucket list. 93-year-old Wendy Hobson has always wanted to ride a motorcycle. The Brookdale Sarasota Central Senior Living Community and AMVETS riders teamed up to grant her her wish. She was aware that a few riders were going along for the ride with her, but had no idea there would be more than 50 cyclists and veterans would show up to surprise her.
We're very honored and excited to be able to not only help participate in granting Wendy her bucket list wish, but also honoring her legacy as a great World War II veteran as well, who served our country so admirably.
This is the first time the two groups have come together to grant a wish for a veteran. How great is that?
She's all dressed up. She's ready to ride.
She knows what she's doing.
Motorcycle mama. Good for her. Good for her.
Absolutely. Well, what's the next couple days looking like?
We are looking at hot weather, of course. You know, it's not even summer officially yet, but it still certainly feels that way. We are looking at our temperatures either.
At ABC7, it's all about being here for you. Introducing ABC7 News at 7 with award-winning investigative journalist Alan Cohn. In-depth reporting and debate on important issues and stories in our community. With a featured topic of the day and a live roundtable discussion with community leaders and newsmakers. Plus a quick recap of the day's top stories and weather. ABC7 News at 7, weeknights. Now more than ever, we're here for you, Suncoast. On your TV, on your computer, on your camera, on your smartphone, on your Apple Watch. And now you can get ABC7, your Suncoast News on Fire TV. Just go to mysuncoast.com and click on the mobile tab for a list of fast and free downloads that deliver ABC7, your Suncoast News on the go.